I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the swamp.
Hello and welcome to another installment of Liberty Nation's Swamponomics videocast. I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor. This week, will Zimbabwe make gold great again? It has been a rough 40 years for Zimbabwe since declaring independence from the former Republic of Rhodesia. Economic collapse, financial crisis, authoritarian leadership, currency devaluation, and hyperinflation have been the hallmarks of Zimbabwe society even after the death of Robert Mugabe. The new regime is attempting to incorporate a modicum of sanity into monetary policymaking as it is combining a 5,000-year-old metal with a decade-old digital innovation. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe announced that it is launching a gold-backed digital currency. In early May, the central bank issued gold-backed digital tokens that are backed by nearly 5,000 ounces of gold. Officials will sell digital tokens for a minimum of $10 to individuals and $5,000 to businesses. Recipients can buy the virtual currency from banks and conduct tokens in person-to-person and person-to-business transactions and settlements by using e-gold wallets or e-gold cards. This might sound like a good idea in practice, but even sound money advocates purport that there are some drawbacks to this policy pursuit. The main concern is that it is not necessarily a gold standard because the tokens are not convertible to gold. So for example, if you receive a few digital tokens, you cannot exchange them for gold bullion at your local bank or central bank. The other issue is that the Zimbabwe government's credibility has been in shatters for decades. The country has had a horrible track record of managing the nation's finances. So why should the public believe it would be any different this time around, especially when thousands of ounces of gold are hiding in a vault ready to be fleeced by politicians or bureaucrats waiting for a major payday and flee to exile? And what if there's very little demand for this? As we have seen in Nigeria, the government launched a central bank digital currency, and adoption and utilization rates have been nearly zero. It is estimated that 98.5% of all digital wallets are not used. Whatever happens in Zimbabwe, it is clear the latest trends suggest that the world is turning to the yellow metal. Data from the World Gold Council show that 2022 was a record year for central banks' gold buying as they acquired roughly $70 billion worth of the precious metal. Central banks were also buying gold to kick off 2023. These institutions bought more than 228 tons of gold in the first quarter of 2023, up roughly 176% from the same time a year ago. So, why would central banks scoop up the metal commodity anyway? Well, there are many reasons, from hedging against inflation to diversifying foreign reserves to resuscitating credibility. Indeed, the world is barking upon a de-dollarization campaign, with countries everywhere ditching the greenback and embracing multilateral currency exchanges. There is speculation that the BRICS bloc, which consists of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, could be in the beginning stages of launching a new international reserve currency. This is riveting, but it does not resolve the chief problem: fiat money. Fiat currency, which is money that is not backed by anything, has resulted in skyrocketing debt, perpetual budget deficits, unfunded liabilities and expenditures, foreign wars, and the myriad of other issues spawned by the Leviathan. Sure, the US dollar is not supported by anything except the trust and faith in the federal government, but neither is the euro, British pound, Chinese yuan, Russian ruble, or any other major currency. And this is the problem. If a nation really wanted to successfully circumvent and undermine the world order, the obvious solution would to make their currencies as good as gold. That's it for me this week. Please read my full Swamponomics column on the pages of LibertyNation.com, where I discuss PCE inflation, the Treasury Department's cash balances, and the rise of corporate bankruptcies. Thank you.
Entertaining, informative, and just plain fun. Watch Liberty Nation's The Conservative 5, produced by conservatives for conservatives. C5's The Left Free Zone, hosted by Liberty Nation's Lisa K. Donner, joined by a raucous, irreverent panel of authors, deconstructing leftist narratives, debating the hot topics, and remembering to laugh. Join the official conservative safe space.
You only did that to piss Jeff off.
Liberty Nation's The Conservative 5.
I'm Andrew Moran, Liberty Nation's economics editor.
Very, very rocky.
Death by government.
Drain the